Imagine a time when electric cars were the future of transportation. Not Tesla, not sleek models with cutting-edge tech, but early 20th century electric cars that roared through city streets and became a symbol of innovation. So why did electric cars vanish for nearly a century? And what happened to this once promising technology? Stick around to discover why the electric car revolution didn't last, and what lessons we can learn from history. Welcome back to History Decoded channel. Today we're uncovering a fascinating chapter in automotive history, how electric cars were once the dominant force in the early 1900s, only to be replaced by gasoline-powered vehicles. You might be surprised to learn that electric cars had their moment in the sun, with leading automakers embracing this new technology long before the hybrid or electric vehicles we know today. Let's explore what happened and why these early electric cars disappeared from the road. Electric cars weren't always futuristic or experimental. In fact, they were once a real alternative to horses, steam engines, and gasoline vehicles. As early as the 1830s, inventors were exploring ways to create a self-propelled vehicle without the need for animal power. Fast forward to the late 1800s, and engineers like Thomas Parker in England and William Morrison in the US were making significant strides. By the 1890s, electric vehicles were already attracting attention for their smooth ride, quiet engines, and practicality, particularly in urban areas. In fact, by 1900, electric cars accounted for 1/3 of all vehicles on the road in the United States. Major manufacturers like Detroit Electric and Studebaker produced some of the most advanced vehicles of the time. But as we know, their popularity wouldn't last. The early 20th century was considered the golden age of electric cars. Their popularity soared in urban areas due to their advantages. No need for frequent stops to feed or rest animals. No noise from a steam engine, and no exhaust fumes, making them a cleaner, quieter, and more reliable option than their gasoline counterparts. Electric vehicles became synonymous with luxury and status, with wealthy individuals choosing electric cars for their smooth performance. Cities like New York even used electric taxis. But despite these advantages, there was a growing competition from another emerging technology, the internal combustion engine. The rise of gasoline-powered cars in the 1920s marked the beginning of the end for electric vehicles. The Model T by Henry Ford, introduced in 1908, revolutionized the auto industry by offering an affordable car for the average American. Gasoline cars were cheaper to manufacture, had a longer driving range, and gasoline refueling stations began to spread across the country. Meanwhile, electric cars were expensive to produce, and their limited range made them impractical for long-distance travel. The lack of charging infrastructure further compounded the issue. By the time the Great Depression hit, the electric car was no longer a viable option. Manufacturers began shifting focus to gasoline-powered models, and electric cars faded into obscurity. Though electric cars disappeared for most of the 20th century, their legacy didn't entirely vanish. They paved the way for the resurgence of electric vehicles in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Innovations like Tesla and other electric vehicle manufacturers owe much of their development to the groundwork laid by early electric pioneers. Today, electric cars are once again on the rise, as concerns over climate change and fuel emissions push society towards cleaner alternatives. But what can we learn from history? Could the electric car's decline have been avoided? What factors truly determined its fate back then, and how are those lessons shaping our future? The history of electric cars is a testament to human innovation and the constant push for progress. From their humble beginnings in the 19th century to their golden age in the early 1900s and their eventual decline, electric cars were once poised to change the world. Today, we're on the verge of an electric car revolution once again. If you're as fascinated by the history of electric vehicles as I am, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more historical deep dives. And let us know in the comments, do you think electric cars would have taken over if gasoline-powered cars hadn't come along? We'd love to hear your thoughts.